Welcome back to Truly Heal and our practical video training of the BCX Ultra Deluxe. When you unpack the box, this is what you receive your BCX Ultra in. It has the handbook and the frequency book, has 2 foot plates to put your feet on to get currency from below. You have also your brass handles to hold in your hand, 3 lasers, which are a special bonus from Truly Heal that you get as part of the package, your cables, and what I found most important, the 2 plasma tubes. It's actually the reason why we decided to support the BCX Ultra. First of all, it's the most easy to use device, very simple, very logical, no hard study, very large display, so very easy to follow through. And with those plasma tubes compared to the electrical currency, very, very effective. And you will see as we set everything up, it's super easy to use. Now let me clear the table very short so that you don't get distracted by all the things we won't address in this video. Like I said before, our main focus in this video is the plasma tubes. Something everybody can do, no matter whether they have any kind of implant, pacemaker, electrodes, breast implants, anything you want is not affected by the use of plasma. And that's why we found it so effective. First of all, very effective, and secondary, very safe to use. And that's what RIFE did as well. He was using plasma tubes to create his results. Now, when you look at the handbook, and I just put it here so that you can see it, the RIFE handbook explains really well the use of the device, how to connect all the external things. And I won't go through, but just showing you here the BCX Ultra, and then how you connect laser, LED lights, all those fabrics, your PMF mat, your handheld plasma tubes, the external, and the PMF mat. So it's all the far infrared mat. It's all explained in this book, including how to set up, what it does, how it works. It's nice reading material and certainly will help you understand the device much better. The more important book, which comes with the device, is your frequency, universal frequency list. And this frequency list shows you, all the different frequencies based on disease. So as you can see, it starts with the alphabet, with ALS, which we know, and also look at for MS and Lyme frequencies, because it's based on bacterial overgrowth. I have done a lot of research into ALS and who has it, and the symptoms before it evolves and before it unfolds. It's quite significant. It's a bacterial overgrowth combined with heavy metals that really drives this disease. So how to treat that, how to influence it, how to look at it from a different angle is what I will show you during this treatment as well. And then you start here with all the different frequencies in this book and look what you are after. Now, when you look, for example, for cancer, you will find here many different frequencies. Cancer lymphatic, it's hard to read on my head, cancer pain, cancer not killed by 2008 till 2023. That's frequencies that haven't worked, so then you embark on others. So there is different cancer prostate 1, cancer prostate Vega result. As you can find, any kind of infection does not always respond to the same frequency. And let me explain you why. Bacteria that grow in an acidic environment respond differently than bacteria that live in an alkaline environment. If you have lots of oxygen, they behave completely different than bacteria that live in an anaerobic environment. You have also heavy metals that have a certain electrical charge of resonant frequency that influence bacteria in a different way. So if you have the combination, like Dr. Mutter explains, of heavy metal and bacteria, the bacteria become up to 20,000 times more toxic based on that, synergistic energy. And that's what you will find more and more. Mold blocks all detox pathways and prevents your healing. So there is so many things that we need to address, and that's why it's always not just one frequency that kills all Lyme bacteria, it's a variation thereof. And let's just go and look very short for Lyme disease, and I hope you can read that behind me. ELL, here we go. And then you can see here, I think it's the first one, Lyme disease. You can see all of those different frequencies, and they start from 500 going all the way up to 800. And then you have here from 800, and that's also Lyme disease, from 800, 700, 500, they start the other way around. Sometimes we stimulate the cell and deactivate or stop it from moving and then have a result, or the other way around. Always try, if you turn on these frequencies, they do not do harm. So if you have no Lyme bacteria in your body, you won't feel a result. You actually don't feel anything. Maybe a little bit of stimulation and energizing energy, but no adverse effects. These frequencies do not harm the body. Whereas if you have Lyme disease, one of those frequencies will all of a sudden hit. And it can be, you know, the 528, or it can be here the 529, will all of a sudden react and give you a response. And that's why running all of those frequencies for a sequence of 3 to 5 minutes is actually required for you to have results. Now, this brings me to something very important. When you have those plasma tubes plugged in, you would actually use the plasma tubes. You plug them in right here. That's especially the ray tubes. And then you would plug in your foot plates, which come, if you don't have a pacemaker or don't have any kind of implant, electrical implant or pump, you would plug in those foot plates with that added black cable that is here into the electrodes. So that's connected. You put your feet onto those two plates. You hold the electrodes in your hand, and then you start running the program. Now, if you look, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's already 58 frequencies. Times 3 minutes or times 5 minutes, that's a long time to sit and hold that in your hands. And that's why we've added in our secondary video the plasma tube, how to set that up, how to use that in the same way where you have your hands free. Now in the evening, you can go and sit like that on the bare skin. You wouldn't put it above the shirt. You would put it on your skin, and then you can still read a book or do something or work on the computer if so required. But it is important that you touch the skin. And that's why those plasma tubes for those long frequency lists are quite limiting. On the other side, they are the highest impact. They have the strongest power to affect your body. Now let me just show you how simple it is to turn the device on and how to use it. And let me just plug in those cables very short. You can see here in the back the instructions on where they go, how they connect, the brass tubes, the little stickers and the electrodes. But let me just take that out. And these are 2 cables. So we connect them up on here. And I don't know if you can see this, but probably it's quite logical and simple. And then you plug in the other 2 ends into your device. And I'll just put the cable here to the side, and that would be it. So, and that's it. I hope you can see it behind me. We've plugged those in into A or B. It doesn't really matter. I always use A for the brass tubes and B for the foot plates. And we keep them apart, and we have connected the ray tubes at your hand. Now you would sit in your chair. A lot of people use a wet cloth or like a washcloth, and you make that moist and put that onto the foot plate and put your feet onto that wet cloth. It just gives a stronger connection. The currency flows better into your body. And then you turn on the device. So we turn on power, and it says very nicely, welcome. You can see that. And now run pre-stored program. Now in your list, let me just pull this back on here so that you can see it. We would say we use now secondary Lyme or primary Lyme or Lyme duck frequencies, John Gravy's frequencies. So that's all included, in the first. So if we say we want a long session, we run the Lyme frequencies general. If you have any other issue, you don't need to worry. There is hundreds of different maladies. And meningitis, mental clarity, which is the one that I need right now. So let's just turn on frequency with 12 Hertz. And where was it? Mental clarity, 764. So always the first number, the one in black, is the pre-programmed frequency that you would use. So it's very simple, nothing to adjust. So what was it? See, mental clarity, I need more of that. So it's 764. So the first thing is, yes, we would like a pre-program, so I press OK. Now it asks me for the frequency that I would like to use. So it's 7. So I would say here, going up to number 7. Next, going up, 6. Next, 4. Okay. Program, yes, that's correct. Run all frequencies, and I hope you can see it behind me. Let's put those cables out of the way. Run all frequencies, yes, it's only one in this case. Use default settings, yes. Electric and ray tubes. Electric plates and ray tubes. So yes, that's correct. Okay. And run minutes, 3, mental clarity. And because I talk a lot, I could go and add to 5 or 10 minutes, which is always fine. And let's just keep it now for 2 minutes so that you can see. And okay, or 4 minutes. And now plug in. It blinks so that I don't forget. And I hope you can see the blinking. And it tells me which electrodes to plug in. I haven't connected the top ones, but the bottom ones. And that means, okay, I've done that. Press start, and that's it. Now the starting in 4, 3, 2, 1, like a rocket launch, and then it will fire up. And you can see it's a soft start. It doesn't kick in all at once. It starts very gentle. You hear a humming of the device. And my tubes are firing up. Now I hope you can see them in the red, but look what happens when I touch them. So as soon as I touch them, you can see the difference between the left and the right. As soon as I touch them, the conductivity will then increase the flow. So the more I touch them, the more power I get into the body. And that's what you will want. Now, mental clarity, frequency, just to stimulate, and I feel it already. No, I'm joking. Never ever expect instant results. It's always based on a flow, on a process. So when you use those frequencies, 3-4 minutes, they might make you feel well. And there's harmony frequencies, de-stressing frequencies. It's really beautiful and it works. But it's something you need to repeat, you need to do. Your body needs to learn how to handle those energies and to absorb them. Plus, let's focus on something we are all mega deficient. How many of you can sit still and still the mind and be completely at peace? Right? Your mind goes way out of whack. That's way too active. And that's what you have to first balance out. So you might take quite a while to get back into that harmony, get back into that focus, into that stillness of the mind, because we're all so out of balance. And that's why don't expect that you turn it on and then it's all peaceful. It might happen for you. Probably I'm way too out of whack. For me, it takes a while longer. I probably need to press it to my face, to my ears, like to have those strong effects. Now those plasma tubes warm up a tiny little bit, but they are very pleasant to feel. So it's actually not something that has that feeling of electrical currency. See, many of you are sensitive to EMF, electrical frequencies that disturb the body. We are all, because we are all heavy metal poisoned, we all have deficiencies, so we respond to those things. Now, when you use the plasma tubes, you don't have that feeling, and that's why I found them absolutely the gorgeous or the most powerful part of this whole device. All right? Now that's pretty much it. As soon as the program is done, you can always press stop right in the middle, and it stops the plasma tubes and it stops the program. If you turn off, that's it. The fan will still run to cool the electricity, and then you can move on to the next program. Now, remove heavy metals. You know, there's so many different frequencies. Mitochondrial disorder, osteoporosis, parasites, all different forms of parasites. You know, I should actually lay it down so that you can see it as well. But the book is extremely elaborate with so many different diseases. And you know what I did? I just started out to use it as a diagnostic tool. For example, what I said before, LMNOP, mold, that's all parasites. So mold, I have to see it on the right way around, but if you look at mold, here it was mold, you can see all those different frequencies for mold. Now this is the whole range, and then you have individual variations of that. So if you would use a mold program and you would run that, and the person shows a response and they feel slightly dizzy, or they ask for water to drink much more, or they have that slightly nauseated feeling, then that's something you want to run before you do anything else, and you keep running it until the effects stop. This can be like a 20-time repeat, because you won't get all mold at once. It will slowly disintegrate, it will slowly fade, it will slowly go away. But once you've gotten rid of mold, all of a sudden your detox pathways work, all of a sudden all other programs work, your antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal programs start to work. Mold blocks pretty much everything. So that's one of the things you would like to start. So if we set here, and I show you once more how it works, 772, mental clarity, I'll remember that now. We turn on and we say, okay, preset program. And now we go for 7, up, 1 further to the left, 7. And mental clarity is gone. See, 771 was the frequency, yes. So, and 1. And okay. Run all programs, yes. Run frequencies, yes. Use default frequencies, yes. Electrical ray tubes, and we plug them in. Okay, and now it asks me to connect them, and then run minutes, 3, okay, and plug in your electrodes. I've done that, and press start to fire up. And again, it starts. Now, to sit someone down with this frequency and to have hold this will take, let me count very short. Where is the frequency? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times 3 minutes. So it's quite a time. And that person would need to sit still. And this is where I now would like to introduce you to an added device, added tool that will make you, well, independent, free moving. You can use it in the kitchen while cooking. You can use it in many different situations. You can put it beside your bed and have it run while you sleep. You can sit in your couch and watch TV and knit and watch and stitch and do whatever you like to do and have the frequency run wild. Now, like I said before, I could go underneath my shirt, put it underneath my arms and have the frequency and have still my arms. I just need to hold it tight. There's many different ways if you don't want the extra plasma tube, because it's quite an expense, but it is certainly a very welcome tool for those of you who want to treat like the whole family. See, we've seen, and let me just pull it out while I talk and explain, because it's very simple. I stop the program now, put this aside, and just pull up here my beam tube. It's already connected so that you can see it right away. And it's connected here in the back. I hope that works with this, oops, here it is. No, here this way, with this cable. So it's like a computer cable. This is, by the way, the little fan. This is your power inlet. And that's the setup. It plugs in here. It tightens the screws. And in the back here, you don't see that. In the back here, you have a power plug that you screw in. I'm going to ask Roger why he never ever changed it. I would like to have both connected from one end, and he doesn't do it. I don't know why. Now that's the plasma tube that allows you to do the same treatment freestanding, free of holding onto something. So let me just go back in. I hope I have it still in your screen. Yes, this way. So now we turn on the device. We go back to 771. Okay, run preset frequencies. And we go up, 7. Okay. No, back, 7. Change. 7. Change, 1. Okay. Okay, run all frequencies. Use, and now we want to, default frequencies, yes. We want to use not the electric and ray tubes. We would like to change to external output electrical electrodes, output ray tubes, output LEDs, output external. Now this is running under output external. And let me just come back very short to this first image just to show you. So we have auxiliary output external, which is the, is it in the picture? Which is the double bubble, the internal, the vortex, the RIFE device, not RIFE, the PMF device, and the lasers. They are all connected to the back through the auxiliary port. Okay, set, all done. Press OK. Minutes 3, and plug in external is done, and press start. And that's what we do. And now it fires up in 3, 2, 1, like a rocket launch. And then you see the beam tube firing. This means I don't need to hold on. I have in the vicinity of, let's say, 26 inch, that's about a meter, full power. Same as if I hold on to this. So if I'm very close to this device, when I have it beside my couch or I sit somewhere, and it penetrates, you know, framework, everything. It even penetrates walls. So if you go to the outside, you still have the same penetration as if you have it without anything in between. Now this is a very, very powerful device for groups. So if you have a whole family to treat against mold, this is a very welcome setup. It actually makes everything quite easy because you can set it up in your living room, in your kitchen, at your dining table, wherever you have most time people meet. And then you would set the frequencies in the beginning to 3 minutes just to see the first response. Then you can extend to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes per frequency to have those intense results. And run all the Lyme frequencies, all the mold frequencies first, then move on to different bacteria and to different infections that might trigger your disease. And again, if you treat cancer, it's always related. The cancer is not the cancer tissue that we address, it's the virus that is known to be responsible for that cancer to grow. I think I've covered it all, at least for the BCX Ultra Deluxe, which is a very powerful and extremely versatile device, something that is simplified for the user, yet extremely complex from its nature. When you think about just having all those frequencies pre-programmed in the device, and that's not just the base frequencies, this is all the different research, people that had better results, people that had different results, all packed into a program. And all you need to do is remember the frequency, enter it in, and that's it, and then start the process. Now, whether you need the external unit or not is really just more or less a question who uses it. See, if I use that on my own, I can easily sit there and take my shirt off and put it underneath my arms and still have my hands free. I don't stress about that. But if I treat my whole family, if I have it in the living room or in the dining room or in the lounge where everybody is, or even in the office, and I have it standing behind us, I can get rid of mold over a longer period of time, and everybody has the same effects. If you have a few friends that all have Lyme, or usually if the husband has Lyme, the wife has it as well. It's contracted by body fluids. So there is an infection over time, and everybody will then have the infection. So using a device like this might help the whole family or your community. You can set this up and have the first people that have used it already sitting in the inner circle, and then you make an outer circle, which is 2 meters away, for people that are fresh to the game, so that they don't get full intensity, they are a bit further away. Or even a third circle. You can have it in the room and everybody intermingles and has those results and those effects onto their cells. I believe this is a great community tool. If you have people with Lyme that get together and they can use this device or use the ray tubes as well for intensified treatment, you can help many people at once. And like I said before in the first chart, always clarify contraindications, clarify side effects, have them detox before and after they do the treatment, and let them sign those little forms so that you're safe. But this is a treatment that we should share with the world, that we should offer to as many as we can, because it really helps and it has no adverse side effects. Think about using antibiotics to do the same and the damage you cause to the rest of your body. Here you have no damage, no side effects, no residual problems, but only destruction of those cells you don't want. How cool is that? All right? That means we're closing this video, and in the next one we deal with the electric part of the game where we connect the foot plates, the handheld brass tubes or the fabrics, and how to use them in the same way.